Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing great. Today is the 5th of January 2024, and a lot of people have done New Year's resolutions where they recapped on the year 2023 or set visions for 2024. And for me, today is my 28th birthday. Um, so I don't really do New Year's resolutions. I always take some time to reflect from my birthday to the next birthday. so, um, yeah, this year was interesting. And I really thought about recording a podcast or how can I share a bit more with the position and the job that I'm having or the company that I'm building. Um, and how can I also express a bit more about myself outside of the pure business context? And I recorded 2 episodes, deleted them again, or decided not to launch them because I was not happy with it. 50% is probably for myself, the other 50% I obviously want to share for other people, maybe to get some inspiration or to learn something. And I feel like 2023 or my 27th life year has been the weirdest one ever. And what do I mean by that? I always try when I do my reflection to uh, try to take a model that I've learned from one of the most inspirational people that I've been like in touch with or I was able to learn with, which is Thaddeus Karoma. And he gave me a model years and years ago that you have 7 life areas. And for me, that was very simple to understand and digest. If you have 7 areas and you give yourself a score from 1 to 10, and see in which areas you've improved or which areas you've been falling a bit short. And so when I did the reflection this year, I was actually shocked because for me, it felt like an amazing year, but actually, in a lot of areas, I have regressed a lot, um, which I didn't expect because I felt so focused and centered around the business, and I've never had a more successful year in terms of business and growth than this one. But I could have been a much better friend, a much better family member, a much more healthy person. So when I did my reflection, I realized that looking back to the year 2023, am not proud of the person that I've become in all life areas. And one thing that I admire about people is if they have life in balance and are not just financially successful, are not just an athlete, are not just having a good relationship, are not just um, emotionally and mentally stable, but have a combination of all of these. And obviously, in some areas you're better, some areas you're a bit weaker. So the 7 areas are the fundamental first is your physical health. The second one is your mental and emotional capacity, strength. The third one is time. The fourth one is financial. The fifth one is um, career. The sixth one is relationships, so family, friends, relationships. And the seventh is spirituality. And if you see these 7 parts like a wheel or like cake pieces, 1/7 each, if one of the areas is short, the wheel cannot spin properly. So that's why it's good if you have like everything on. Um, Try to have it like as middle or as balanced as possible, because otherwise you're not in the flow. Or that's at least what would work well for me, or this analogy has worked well for me. So now looking back the last 365 days, mm, I've never had more success business wise. I've never been as driven and dedicated, and I've never learned more in business than what I've had in the last year. That was insane. But before I started Azqira, I was meditating a lot. I was financially in a very good position. I was consulting for a few projects. I was investing in a few projects, um, and I did a lot of sports. So I was extremely happy. I was extremely centered. I was extremely um, peaceful within myself. And more money, more problems. The more people you're responsible for, the more headache you have. And that was extremely challenging for me this year. So a lot of people know me now in my position as the CEO of a company, and I'm responsible for a lot of people. But the person I'm first and foremost responsible is myself, and I feel like I did not a good job in taking care of myself. So this is one part where I will do everything in my power that in a year from now I'll record another video where I can look back and I'll be in the shape of my life. I'll be eating very healthy. I'll focus more on meditation and journaling. I'm a huge fan of journaling, by the way. If people ask me about certain problems that they have, or if anything in their life happens, I my first question you can ask my friends is mostly, did you write it down? Did you write it down? And in the last few weeks, I've journaled a lot more, but it always comes or came in phases. The consistency in terms of journaling and meditation was not there. Um, and I need to focus more on this because I feel that it gives me a lot of clarity, a lot of power, a lot of stability also. Um, and the more chaotic the life gets, and the more people I'm in contact with, the more balanced I need to be. So it's a constant battle within myself to try to stay in my lane. And the more connections, the more outside activities there are, the more centered I need to be. So um, when I look at before I started the company, as I said, like I was really fit. I made like 5, 6 times sports a week. I was in very good shape, and because we traveled a lot, I was lacking consistency there. So the positive thing is I've never traveled as much as I did this year. And this was my dream, you know. When I came out of school, I went to New Zealand, and when I came back, my dream was to travel and make money. So, in a way, I'm living my dream right now. And I'm extremely grateful and passionate about it. But when I miss out on fundamentals, which is my health, because there's so much going on in my life, then I am doing something wrong. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that are at a certain stage in their career had this point where they were like, hey, it's too much focus on work and not enough focus on health. And if the health is not working, um, then you will hit a certain brick wall at a certain moment. And I've realized that that doesn't mean that I will um, do less work or I will focus less on my business. But I had an issue in the beginning to give up certain tasks because I was loving it myself, but it took a lot of time from me personally, and I need to really make time and space for these things. So coming back to the travels, started off the year with being in South Africa, then flew to Dubai, back to South Africa. Then I was in Paris for a conference. Then we were in Germany for some time, had some meetings there. Then we were in Warsaw, speaking at the conference. Back to Dubai, some meetings there. Back to Germany. Um, Flew then to Portugal, where we had our opening event in Lisbon, spent some time in Portugal, flew to London speaking at the conference in London. um, insane schedule, um, and I loved every second of it. Um, so there's no but. There's no but. It's just that I need to focus more also on the other side of the business. Otherwise, my wheel is getting out of shape, so to say. I'm huge on spirituality and meditation, and I really had a time where I was fully deep into it and I gave it a lot of attention. I felt that also this year I was struggling to give it the attention that I wanted it to get. Um, so it's very pulled into opposite directions. Um, so I wanted to record this video not only to um, give you guys insights and reflect, but but also for me to look back in a year from now. Where was I? I'm currently mentally in a very good state of mind from a business perspective. As I said, things are moving extremely well. I'm super proud of the team that we have. I'm super proud of what we were able to accomplish in this time, because the economics generally are extremely difficult. You have war here, war there, financial crisis, recession here, and to build something in this environment is challenging, but also extremely fun. And one quote that I heard again this year, that I've heard a few years ago, but now it's stuck with me a lot more, is from Ayrton Senna. Um, you cannot overtake 15 cars when it's sunny, but you can when it's raining, and it's raining heavy right now. So we are on the way of overtaking a lot of cars at the moment, which is super fun. But my goal for next year is that I can record a video where I look back and say, I am proud of the man that I've become. I'm proud of the the partner that I am. I'm proud of the leader that I am. I'm proud of the the wisdom that I've gathered through reading more books, studying more courses, learning from great people. I am in a very healthy state of mind, and also from a physical standpoint, I am the healthiest I've ever been. Um, and this is what my goal is, or what I'm working on at the moment already. But where I, looking back to this last year, have to admit I was completely out of balance, and, and that is okay. I feel like um, I accepted it. I found my peace with it. Still, it is definitely something that I will change, or I have actually started to change already. Um, so for me, this is and was a very vulnerable video, um, because I feel like I can give whoever is watching this more an insight of a certain part of my life where I'm not sharing a lot about, to be honest, because it also fits in the social media world, where you show the picture of the beach when you've been there, but not from the 15 hours behind the laptop, or where you show the perfect color grading and pose instead of the fails that you had. But anyway, not to bash any of that. Um, I don't know how to start with this. Probably the best thing is just to start. There's no proper strategy behind that, like a video series in this format or something like this. I just wanted to take the moment and share this reflection with you, how I've experienced that. Um, so for those of you who want to try it, it has helped me personally a lot. I want to finish this with explaining maybe a bit more of how the scoring works. So you take the 7 areas, and then you say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you really, from the potential where you can be to where you are. trust me, if you think you're at the 7 or 8, it's not like you're you're not there, most probably. Because when it comes to health, health is not just do I go to the gym or not, is how well do I sleep, how well do I eat, how good am I in resting, how's my cardio, how's my strength, how's my mobility. Mm, how long can I go without sleep? How energetic am I after I've had a 8 hour flight? How fast can I recover? Um, all of these things, and for the most part, we just don't have the right questions to ask and the right pieces of information, how we can piece all of that together. But by realizing that we are standing at a certain point, it opens the door to the right questions and the progress. And it's not about becoming a 10 out of 10 in a year from now. It's about implementing the small steps that help you make progress, and then you can look back and be actually proud of yourself of the progress that you've made. And this year was just for me in 5 of the 7 areas, that was not the case, where I didn't make the progress that I wanted to do, because I got carried away in work, and that's completely fine. And this, as I said, 2023 was still the year that I've probably learned the most about myself, where I've met the most inspiring people, where I've had the hardest challenges I've ever had, where I've made the biggest jumps and progresses in a certain field. Um, yeah. So if you want to take this, maybe you've done your New Year's resolution already, maybe you want to do this reflection for yourself. You take the 7 areas: physical health, mental and emotional strength or stability or ability, um, time, financial, relationships, career, spirituality. So these are the 7. These are also, by the way, the 7 chakras, but that's for another video. Um, but and then you see them as a wheel, and you give yourself a grade from 1 to 10, and then looking back you can really see, okay, am I fitter than before, am I spending my time wiser, more effective, how's my relationship with my partner, are we spending time together, or is it really a quality time that we are having together, how's the relationship with my kids, with my parents, um, from a spiritual standpoint, how centered am I? How well can I deal with stress? Um, how how much do I believe in God? Do I believe in God at all? Do I believe in the universe? How these things connected, etc., etc. So there's um, a lot to learn, I believe, in every area, and I hope that also this video, as I said, 50% is for me, but also 50% is for you. So if you can take at least a little bit out of it, where you say, it's interesting to see how somebody's feeling that seems like publicly on top of the world and responsible for lots of people and always happy, but how does it look behind the curtains, behind the screen? What are challenges that I'm having? How do I see this personally myself? Um, and also maybe you want to see a bit more, maybe there are certain questions that there are, and but yeah, for now this video was more uh, for me to look back in a year and say I'm proud of the person I've become, and I'm proud of the progress that I've made. And with that, thank you so much for listening and for making it that far in this video. I hope you're having a fantastic day, evening, whatever time it is when you're listening to this, and wishing you a healthy and happy 2024. All the best, and speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.